Hello, everybody. So, after the boring UFC 219, UFC 220 is epic as fuck. In the co-main event, there is Daniel Cormier versus Volkan Ozdemir, and in the main event, Francis Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic. So, I'm gonna talk about it. First of all, the co-main event. Um, Daniel Cormier versus Volkan Ozdemir. I think Volkan Ozdemir has a huge chance of knocking Daniel Cormier out. He's never gonna submit Daniel Cormier. I know that for sure. If he submits Daniel Cormier, I mean that's not gonna happen. If he submits Daniel Cormier, that's no, it's not gonna happen. If he wins, he's gonna knock him out, and he's not gonna win the decision. If it's gonna be by submission or decision, it's gonna be from Daniel Cormier. Volkan Ozdemir seems like he hits really hard, and he hits really hard, and he seems like he's very good with his hands. Like there are some guys who are kind of very accurate and who doesn't seem like they hit hard, but they do really hit hard. And he's one of those guys, and he hits really hard. And another factor that he could knock Daniel Cormier out is that Daniel Cormier got knocked out viciously by John Jones. The huge head kick and then vicious elbows, and he couldn't get back up for like a minute. He was badly hurt, and that could lead to a deteriorating chin, and then 100%, his chin is deteriorating. And if Volkan Ozdemir connects on Daniel Cormier is gonna be in trouble. But Daniel Cormier is a beast wrestling wise. I think in the light heavyweight division, there's not a man that can like compete with Daniel Cormier with wrestling, except for John Jones. John Jones is the only guy who can throw off Daniel Cormier like nothing, and nobody can do that to Daniel Cormier except for himself. So I think because Daniel Cormier is training with Cain Velasquez and he's a superior wrestler, I think he will take him down. And it's just a matter of how easy it's going to be. If it's really easy, he's going to win the fight. Probably by submission or TKO. But if he does have some trouble taking him down, I think he will take him down. But if he does have some trouble taking him down, he could definitely get knocked out. And I like Daniel Cormier, but this time I feel like Volkan Ozdemir is going to knock him out. I just have this feeling that Volkan will just tag him in the clinch or something, and Daniel gets dropped or get wobbled, and Volkan goes for the kill. And I think that's gonna happen. I think I'm foreseeing the future. I can see it in my head, Daniel Cormier getting knocked out by Volkan Ozdemir. If I think about Daniel Cormier winning the fight, it's like him choking Volkan Ozdemir out. But I see Daniel Cormier getting knocked out by Volkan Ozdemir. But it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. Unlike Holly Holm versus Chris Cyborg. So the main event is epic as fuck. I don't think it's gonna last for over 3 rounds. It could definitely end in the first round. Knockout could happen from both fighters. So Francis Ngannou hits He is the hardest, officially hardest puncher in the world. Tyron Woodley says, "Well, I'm pound for pound number one hardest puncher in the UFC," but he's not true. He's not true. Francis Ngannou hits. He is the hardest puncher, and he is strong as fuck. He is big as fuck. He is long as fuck. He is just a genetic freak. He is. He's a freak. If he hits you, you're gonna float. And he's a genetic freak. But that's my point. He's a genetic freak, but I don't think he is as skilled as Stipe Miocic. Stipe Miocic is not a genetic freak. He is gifted with some skills with power, especially with his right hand. His right hand nowadays is like a piston. He hits you, you get hurt, or you get knocked out. I mean, Stipe Miocic nowadays he's on a tear. Since he knocked out Fabricio Verdum, he is just starching people. He knocked out Andrei Arlovsky. He knocked out Fabricio Verdum. He knocked out Alistair Overeem. He knocked out Junior Dos Santos like nothing. Like nothing. When he knocked out Fabricio Verdum, going backward, it just blew my mind. He just touched him and he went to sleep. And Stipe Miocic is also one of those guys that he isn't that muscular. I mean, muscle doesn't mean big muscles doesn't necessarily mean that you're powerful or you hit hard. But for Francis Ngannou, definitely seemed like he is strong as fuck and he hits hard. Like Anthony Johnson, Anthony Rumble Johnson is a gorilla. And Stipe Miocic, like body wise, muscle wise, he's not that big, but he is strong also, and he hits hard also. And the biggest thing, the biggest difference is that Stipe Miocic, his hand skill is a lot superior than Francis Ngannou. So this is like one of those fights like Michael Bisping versus Dan Henderson. Michael Bisping is definitely a better striker, definitely a better boxer, definitely a better hands. But why did Michael Dan Henderson get the match against Michael Bisping? Because he has that right hand, and there are other guys with not that good of a good skill with their hands, but extreme power. Like Mark Hunt has hand skills. Like he is elite striker, but the reason he is at the top of the division is because he can take a punch. He can take a hell of a punch. Like he doesn't mind getting punched, and he can get punched. And also Roy Nelson, he's not like really skilled with his hands. I think the only thing he has is just his overhand right. But why is he winning fights? Because he has chin. He can take punches, even if the opponent is throwing punches at him. He can take them and throw it back, and he hits so hard so that he wins the fight. So, not all fighters are skilled. Not all fighters are winning because they're skilled, but because they're winning because they're gifted with either chin or extreme knockout power. So I think that's what's happening with Francis Ngannou. I don't think his hands are that good. He's just swinging him, I think. But just because he is so motherfucking strong, he is just knocking everybody out. I'm not saying his hand skills are horrible, but compared to Stipe Miocic, it's not as good as I think Stipe Miocic has much better striking. And people think like Francis Ngannou is gonna knock out Stipe Miocic. But Stipe Miocic, as I said, hits motherfucking hard. Like, there's a guy who has a phenomenal chin. The one who fought Fedor, the one who he's a light heavyweight fighter. He fought Teixeira. He got TKO'd. I can't remember his name right now. He has a hell of a chin. Fedor Emelianenko beat him for 3 rounds, but he couldn't knock him out. Teixeira beat him for like forever, but he only TKO'd him. But Stipe Miocic in the first round touched him, he got wobbled, and then he touched him and he knocked him out. That's how hard Stipe Miocic hits. Stipe Miocic, his right hand is also a dangerous, dangerous weapon. So if he connects on Francis Ngannou, he can definitely knock out Francis Ngannou. And I think Stipe Miocic is gonna knock out Francis Ngannou. I think, but the thing is, I don't know what's the game plan for Stipe Miocic. Like, after he KO'd Fabricio Verdum, he's been very, very aggressive. He's just going forward and throwing punches, and he's knocking everybody out. But I'm not sure if he's gonna do that against Francis Ngannou, because Francis Ngannou, his counter left hand or right hand is so hard, so he could get knocked out if he just goes forward. So I don't know if he's gonna go for wrestling, or I don't think he's gonna take him down in the first or second round before Francis Ngannou gets tired. The only guy who can wrestle and take down Francis Ngannou in the heavyweight division is Cain Velasquez. Cardio Cain Velasquez. He is the father of wrestling, so he's the only guy who can take down Francis Ngannou. For Stipe Miocic to take down Francis Ngannou, it should be in the third round or fourth round, if he can survive the early dangerous rounds. So, I mean, Francis Ngannou starching, murking Stipe Miocic in the first round could definitely happen. I wouldn't be surprised if he knocked him out in 1 minute, in 30 seconds, in 10 seconds. I would be like, oh, but I wouldn't be surprised. And another thing is when Alistair Overeem knocked down Stipe Miocic, he couldn't finish him. I mean, he didn't went for the kill. He went for guillotine choke, but Stipe Miocic was able to get up. But if he gets knocked down by Francis Ngannou, I don't think he's gonna be able to get up. I'm not saying that he's gonna get knocked out with one punch, but after he gets knocked down, if Francis Ngannou goes for the kill, he's gonna get killed. If Francis Ngannou knocks you down, it's over for you. So it's a very, very dangerous fight for Stipe Miocic. But as I said, Stipe Miocic is a monster. And I think he's going to surprise a lot of people and KO Francis Ngannou. I think his hands are a lot better. Of course, Francis Ngannou could definitely knock him out with a vicious power, but I have this feeling that Stipe Miocic is gonna KO Francis Ngannou in the first round, and become the first heavyweight champion to defend the title for 3 consecutive times, which is crazy. Heavyweight division is so hard to defend the titles because one punch changed everything. So I think Stipe Miocic is gonna win. yeah. I think Stipe is badass as fuck. And yeah, if I was betting $100, I would bet on Stipe Miocic. Yeah, so it is what it is. Call me Mystic Mac, cause I predict these things. Okay, so thanks for watching the video. Stipe is gonna win, motherfuckers. Call me Mystic Mac, cause I predict these things. Goodbye.